Anakin's first significant encounter with the dark side occurs in Attack of the Clones when he massacres the Tusken Raiders, not only the men but also the women and children. This brutal act leads him to vow to become the most powerful Jedi ever, determined to use his strength to prevent the deaths of those he loved. This pivotal moment significantly contributes to his eventual transformation into Darth Vader. However, in today's story, I want to explore an alternative scenario. What if Padme Amidala had purchased Anakin's mother, Shmi, freeing her from slavery and inviting her to live with her on Naboo? Over the course of the next 10 years, Anakin continues his rigorous training under the guidance of Obi-Wan Kenobi. During this period, he is aware of the transaction that freed his mother and brought her to live on Naboo. This knowledge brings a great amount of peace to his heart, allowing him to focus more on his training and growth as a Jedi without the constant worry for his mother's safety. Years later, Anakin is assigned to be Padme Amidala's bodyguard, bringing him back to Naboo. This assignment marks the first time in 10 years that he's seen his mother and Padme. This reunion is emotional and heartfelt. As Anakin steps off the transport ship, he scans the bustling spaceport until his eyes find Padme, who stands beside a woman he recognizes instantly, Shmi Skywalker. His mother looks almost unchanged, her face lighting up with a smile as she sees him. Anakin's heart swells with a mix of joy and relief.
Anakin!
Shmi calls out, her voice filled with the warmth only a mother can have.
Mom, I've missed you so much.
I've missed you too, my son. Look at you, all grown up and a Jedi.
As the days go by, Anakin finds himself spending more time with Padme. They share stories, laugh together, and gradually, Anakin realizes he is falling in love with her. His mother notices the change in him and the way his eyes light up whenever Padme is around. One evening, while they sit in the garden of Padme's palace, Shmi turns to her son.
Anakin, I see the way you look at Padme. There's something you need to talk about, isn't there?
I think I'm falling in love with her, Mom. But I'm a Jedi. We're not supposed to form attachments.
Anakin, love is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. The Jedi have their rules, but you must also follow your heart. If Padme is the one who brings you peace and happiness, you should not deny that feeling.
But what if the Council finds out? What if they disapprove?
Then you'll face those challenges together. True love is worth fighting for. Don't let fear dictate your life, Anakin. Be true to yourself and to Padme.
Anakin looks at his mother, her words resonating deeply within him.
Thank you, Mom. Your wisdom means everything to me.
Go to her, Anakin. Let her know how you feel.
With his mother's blessing, Anakin finds the courage to confess his feelings to Padme. Their bond deepens, and they begin a secret relationship, navigating the challenges and dangers that come with their positions. The rest of the events of Attack of the Clones would play out similarly to the movie, with Anakin and the rest of the Jedi arriving to aid Obi-Wan in his escape from Geonosis. As we move into the Clone Wars, things would get tough. Battles began to take a toll on everyone, including Anakin, but he would always fall back on the one person he knew he could trust more than anyone in the world, his mother. Despite the chaos of war, Anakin made it a point to visit Naboo whenever possible. Shmi's presence provided him with a sanctuary, a place where he could be himself without the weight of the galaxy on his shoulders. Her wisdom and unwavering support were his guiding light through the darkest times.
Mom, I don't know how much more of this I can take. The battles, the losses, it's all becoming too much.
Anakin, you have always been strong, but it's okay to feel overwhelmed. Remember, you're not alone in this. You have Padme, and you have me.
I just want this war to end. I want peace for the galaxy and for us.
It will end, my son. But until then, you must hold on to the love and hope that you have. Use it to guide you and give you strength.
The Clone Wars continued to rage on, and Anakin faced numerous challenges both on the battlefield and within himself. One of the most difficult moments came when his Padawan, Ahsoka Tano, chose to leave the Jedi Order. Anakin felt a profound sense of loss and failure, questioning his abilities as a mentor and a Jedi. After Ahsoka's departure, Anakin found himself at a loss. The betrayal he felt from the Jedi Council and the void left by Ahsoka's absence weighed heavily on him. During this dark time, he once again turned to his mother for solace and guidance.
Mom, I feel like I've failed Ahsoka. I couldn't protect her, and now she's gone. What kind of Jedi am I if I can't even keep my own Padawan safe?
Anakin, you did everything you could for Ahsoka. Sometimes, people need to find their own path, even if it means leaving behind those they care about.
But I should have done more. I should have been able to save her from all of this.
Anakin, you are not a failure. You have given Ahsoka the strength and wisdom to make her own choices. Her decision to leave the Order was not a reflection of your abilities as a mentor, but rather her own journey of self-discovery.
I just miss her so much, Mom. She was like a sister to me.
I know, but remember, Ahsoka's departure does not diminish the bond you shared. She will always carry a part of you with her, just as you will carry a part of her. Trust that you have prepared her well for whatever lies ahead.
As the days passed, Anakin spent more time with his mother, finding comfort in her presence and wisdom. Shmi's unwavering support helped him come to terms with Ahsoka's departure, slowly healing the wounds it had caused. The time would come when Anakin began to have disturbing dreams of Padme's death and childbirth. These visions plagued him to the point where he felt an urgent need for guidance. Desperate for answers, he first sought out Yoda, who told him that death was a natural part of life, that he should rejoice for those who became one with the Force. Yoda emphasized the importance of training himself to let go of everything he feared to lose. This was something Anakin could not accept. Unhappy with the answers he received, he turned to his mother. Shmi listened intently as Anakin described his nightmares and his fears. She understood the depth of his love for Padme and the terror these dreams invoked in him.
Anakin, what Yoda said is true. Death is a natural part of life, and we must find a way to accept it. But I see how much this is tearing you apart, and I know how deeply you love Padme.
Mom, I can't just let go. I have to do something to save her. I can't lose her.
Sometimes, the more we try to hold on, the more we push away the very things we love. You must face your fear, Anakin. Only by doing so can you find the clarity and strength to truly help Padme.
Despite her wise words, Shmi saw that her son was not at ease. She sensed the fear and desperation within him. After their conversation, Shmi decided to do something risky. She contacted Obi-Wan Kenobi and shared everything with him, Anakin's dreams, his fears, and his increasing struggle with the dark side. Obi-Wan listened with grave concern.
Shmi, I've always known about Anakin and Padme. I chose not to speak about it because I wanted Anakin to be happy. But now it's clear that his fear and his attachment are leading him down a dangerous path.
He needs guidance, Obi-Wan, and I don't know how to help him.
Time was beginning to wear out as Palpatine had just told Anakin the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise. While Anakin was a more centered Jedi in this timeline, this did pique his interest as he was desperate for answers. Obi-Wan continued to gain information from Anakin's mother and knew Anakin was curious about the ways of the Force. Obi-Wan decided to take a proactive step. He called Anakin to the lower levels of the Jedi Temple, an area reserved for the highest of masters. The dimly lit corridors and the ancient stone walls created an atmosphere of mystery and reverence. As Anakin approached, Obi-Wan stood waiting, his expression a mix of feelings.
Anakin, I am proud of the Jedi you have become. I know how eager you are to learn more about the Force, to understand its depths and intricacies.
Anakin nodded, curiosity and anticipation evident in his eyes.
Master, I want to know everything there is to know.
You have only an hour, but in that time, I am granting you access to study all aspects of the Force. Everything the Jedi have in the archives is available to you. Use this time wisely.
Anakin's heart raced as he stepped into the archive room. The vast collection of knowledge, scrolls, and holocrons surrounded him, filled with centuries of wisdom and secrets. He immersed himself in the teachings, his mind absorbing information at a rapid pace. The hour felt like mere seconds to Anakin. He delved into the nature of the Force, exploring its light and dark sides. He studied ancient texts, listened to recordings of long-forgotten Jedi Masters, and even glimpsed the teachings of the Sith. As he read and listened, a realization dawned on him. The power to save someone with the Force was rooted in the light side, not the dark. The revelation sparked a sense of clarity and suspicion within him about Palpatine's true intentions. When his time was up, Anakin emerged from the archives, his mind buzzing with a newfound knowledge. Obi-Wan was waiting for him, a look of concern and hope on his face.
Anakin, what have you discovered?
There's something you need to know. Palpatine. He told me a story about a Sith Lord named Darth Plagueis.
Darth Plagueis, what did he tell you?
He said that Darth Plagueis had the power to prevent death and create life. He told me that Plagueis could save the ones he loved from dying, but that he was betrayed and killed by his own apprentice.
Anakin, this is very troubling news. Palpatine should not have this knowledge. It is dangerous, and his telling you this suggests he might have ulterior motives.
I know, Master. I trusted him. He's been like a mentor to me. But now I don't know what to think. If the power to save lives is a light side ability, why would he tell me it's a Sith power?
Palpatine has always been a manipulative figure, Anakin. He must have a reason for sharing this story with you. And it can't be good. We need to be very cautious.
What should we do, Master?
We need to bring this to the attention of the Jedi Council. They must know about Palpatine's influence and the knowledge he possesses. We cannot afford to ignore this.
As they made their way back to the main levels of the temple, the gravity of their conversation weighed heavily on both of them. Anakin's loyalty to Palpatine had been shaken, and Obi-Wan's trust in the Chancellor was now in serious doubt. The revelations from the archives and Palpatine's story about Darth Plagueis has set in motion a series of events that would test their resolve and challenge their understanding of the Force. Anakin and Obi-Wan made their way to the Jedi Council chamber, the weight of their discovery heavy on their minds. As they entered, the council members, including Yoda, Mace Windu, and Ki-Adi-Mundi, turned their attention to the two Jedi. The atmosphere was tense, knowing that what they were about to discuss was of grave importance.
Masters, we have urgent news to share regarding Chancellor Palpatine and his knowledge of the Sith.
The council members exchanged worried glances. Mace Windu leaned forward, his expression stern.
What have you discovered?
The Chancellor told me a story about a Sith Lord named Darth Plagueis. He claimed that Plagueis had the power to prevent death and create life. Palpatine suggested that this power could be used to save those we love from dying.
Heard of Darth Plagueis? I have not. Troubling news this is. Powerful and dangerous such knowledge would be.
If Palpatine is aware of this Sith Lord and his abilities, it suggests he has access to forbidden and ancient knowledge. This could be a significant threat to the Jedi and the Republic.
You mentioned that Palpatine implied this power was a Sith ability. Did he give any indication of why he was sharing this with you?
No, Master Windu. He didn't explain his motives.
The council members exchanged worried glances. Yoda's voice was grave as he spoke.
A dangerous path this is. Influence over you the Chancellor seeks. Temptation to the dark side. It could lead.
We cannot ignore this. Anakin, your mission to spy on the Chancellor must continue. We need more information about his true intentions and the extent of his knowledge. This story about Darth Plagueis is deeply concerning, and we must uncover the truth.
I understand, Masters. I will do my best to gather more information.
You are not alone in this, Anakin. We are all here to support you. Remember, trust in the Force and in your instincts.
Careful you must be. Deceptive and cunning the dark side is. Watchful and vigilant you must remain.
As the meeting concluded, the council members continued to discuss the implications of Palpatine's knowledge and the potential threat it posed. Anakin and Obi-Wan left the chamber, the gravity of their mission pressing down on them. Outside, Anakin turned to Obi-Wan.
Do you think we can trust the Council to handle this properly?
We must have faith in the Council's wisdom, Anakin. But we must also be vigilant and prepared for whatever may come. The path ahead is uncertain, but we will face it together.
Anakin's dreams of Padme's death continued to worsen, haunting him every night. Despite knowing that the power to save her was a light side ability, he felt time was slipping away, and he knew he needed more access to the archive to uncover the secrets he sought. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan successfully defeated General Grievous, a significant victory for the Republic. After hearing the news, Anakin was assigned to inform Chancellor Palpatine As he stood before Palpatine, the Chancellor could sense the turmoil and fear within Anakin. Palpatine revealed his true identity as the Sith Lord and tempted Anakin with promises of power to save Padme. Shocked and anger, Anakin quickly left Palpatine's chamber and made his way back to the Jedi Temple, his mind racing. He sought out Master Windu and informed him of Palpatine's revelation. Windu, realizing the gravity of the situation, decided to act immediately. He instructed Anakin to remain at the temple while he and a group of Jedi Masters went to arrest Palpatine. The confrontation with Palpatine was fierce and brutal. The Sith Lord attacked the Jedi Masters, quickly dispatching them one by one until Mace Windu remained. Using the mastery of Vapod, Windu engaged Palpatine in a final intense duel. Drawing on the darkness of the battle, Windu managed to disarm and defeat Palpatine, delivering a fatal blow. Back at the Jedi Temple, Anakin felt a sudden shift in the Force. The oppressive darkness that had weighed on him lifted, signaling that the threat of Palpatine had been neutralized. Master Windu returned to the temple, bearing the news of the Chancellor's death and the elimination of the Sith threat. Order 66 was prevented from happening, and soon Anakin became a father. His secret marriage to Padme and the birth of the twins, Luke and Leia, were revealed to the world. While the Jedi Council was initially unhappy with this revelation, they made the exception for Anakin, recognizing his unique role as the Chosen One. Luke and Leia were brought to the Jedi Temple, where they began their training under the watchful eye of their father and other Jedi Masters. Anakin, Padme, and the twins represented a new hope for the Jedi and the galaxy. The Jedi Order, now aware of the importance of balancing personal attachments with their duties, began to evolve. They embraced a more compassionate and understanding approach, moving towards a new era of peace and unity. The galaxy, under the protection of the Jedi and the guidance of the Republic, flourished. Anakin found fulfillment in his dual roles as a Jedi and a father, working alongside Padme to rebuild and strengthen the Republic. The presence of his mother, Shmi, and the support of Obi-Wan continued to provide him with the grounding he needed to stay true with the light. As Luke and Leia grew, they exhibited exceptional promise, embodying the best of their parents. Their training was rigorous, yet filled with love and encouragement, preparing them to be the next generation of Jedi who would protect and serve the galaxy. For years, the peace endured. The Jedi Order thrived, their numbers growing and their influence spreading across the galaxy. Anakin's vision of a future free from the fear of loss seemed to be within reach. However, the forces of darkness were never truly vanquished and laid in wait, biding their time. One fateful day, whispers of a new threat began to surface, hinting at the resurgence of a dark power that had been thought defeated.